To me, Global Reach Out is inspiring.
It's connecting with God, reaching out to the world, and impacting lives.
The stories that shared is so personal and it deeply impacted me.
Global Reach Out to me is reach out to the truth.
Connecting hearts, connecting lives. You're listening to Global Reach Out.
Anyone who studies closely and critically the life and work of Nehemiah would come to a similar conviction and conclusion that he was an effective leader. The question arises, what made him a successful leader? What were some of the contributing factors? We can highlight a few. Nehemiah was directed by clear vision. The life of a leader is often fueled by a vision. It was clear vision which motivated him to persist in good times and difficult times and to successfully complete rebuilding the walls. What is vision? Vision is foresight with insight based on hindsight. Another definition, vision is clear conception of something that is not a reality, but which can exist. It is a strong image of a preferable future. Vision is always future-focused. Vision does not try to recapture the good old days. Rather, it desires to create days that have not existed. Vision means to see something coming into view as if it were already there. Nehemiah's vision to rebuild the city walls began with a holy discontent, to borrow Bill Hybels' phrase. A holy discontent began with spiritual frustration that saw something needed to be done and he could not stand it any longer. Motivation for doing so was for the good of people and for the glory of God. Bill Hybels reminds us that you will never make a meaningful contribution as when you operate from the energy instead of holy discontent. The source of Nehemiah's vision came from God. 2:9 I had not told anyone about plans God had put in my heart for Jerusalem. All successful leaders are directed by a clear vision of what they are supposed to do. Example, Moses, Joshua, Solomon, David, and others. With a clear vision, they were able to focus on the task at hand and not be distracted. They will always give their very best to the task at hand. Leaders with a vision will not settle for compromise, indecisiveness, distraction, or trapped by past thinking. For vision to become a reality, action must be taken. Goethe said these words, "Are you in earnest? Seize this very minute. What you can or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Only engage and then the mind grows heated. Begin and then the work will be completed." Optimism characterized his life and ministry. He saw obstacles as opportunities and stumbling blocks as stepping stones. I once saw a poster in a mall that read, "Two men look out from the same bars. One sees stars and the other sees the mud. The former is an optimist while the latter is a pessimist." Optimistic leaders expect the best. They usually see opposition, difficulties, and failures as temporary setbacks. They also know that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Optimism is needed in every field, be it a delivery boy, a waiter, butcher, baker, or a janitor. It is a matter of perspective. how leaders choose to see things. Optimism creates positive moods, which in turn creates good morale in the ministry. On the other hand, pessimists see only the worst and expect the worst in the positive. Pessimism creates depression and negativity that nothing can be done. In a word, the optimists see the donut, the pessimists see the hole. An avid duck hunter was in the market for a new bird dog. His search ended when he found a dog that could actually walk on water to retrieve a duck. Shocked by his find, he was sure none of his friends could ever believe him. He decided to try to break the news to a friend of his, a pessimist by nature, and invited him to hunt with him and his new dog. As they waited by the shore, a flock of ducks flew by. They fired, and the duck fell. The dog responded and jumped into the water. The dog, however, did not sink, but instead walked across the water to retrieve the bird, never getting more than his paws wet. This continued all day. Each time a duck fell, the dog walked across the surface of the water to retrieve it. The pessimist watched carefully, saw everything, but did not say a single word. On the drive home, the hunter asked his friend, "Did you notice anything unusual about my new dog?" "I sure did," responded the pessimist. "Your dog can't swim." A leader who wants to be successful in his or leadership should be positive and optimistic because, 1, of the God he serves or she serves, 2, the scripture, and 3, the power of prayer. Nehemiah practiced strategic timing in his relationship and work. Nehemiah practiced strategic timing in his relationship and work. Nehemiah waited the right time or the strategic timing to see the king. He also waited for the king to broach the subject. The use of strategic timing is important in any significant accomplishment. As the Bible reminds us, there is a time for everything, Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. Time is a precious commodity and should not be squandered away. Leaders should learn how to use time strategically, or use Paul's words, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Time can be lost. Once gone, it cannot be retrieved. Oswald Sanders said, "Time is God-given stewardship for which we must render an account. Our use of it will determine our contribution to our generation. The difference between one person and another person lies largely in the use of time." Oswald Sanders says, Nehemiah's understanding of strategic timing enabled him to prioritize. All of us have the same amount of time. It is how we use it. A matter of priority. Are we engrossed in the secondary that we have no time for the primary? Sacrifice the pearl of inferior value for the pearl of transcendent worth. The bank account of life. Imagine there's a bank that credits your account each morning with $86,400. It carries over no balance from day to day. Every evening, deletes whatever part of the balance you fail to use during the day. What would you do? Draw out every cent? Of course. Each of us has such a bank. Its name is time. Every morning, it credits you with 86,400 seconds. Every night it writes off as lost whatever of this you have failed to invest to good purpose. It carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day it opens a new account for you. Each night it burns the remains of the day. If you fail to use the day's deposit, the loss is yours. There's no going back. There's no drawing against the tomorrow. You must live in the present or today's deposits. Invest in it so that you get from it the utmost in health, happiness, and success. The clock is running. Make the most today.
The program is proudly presented by Global Reach Out. We welcome you to share our live enriching webcasts with family and friends through our website, global-reachout.org. Let's reach out to bless more lives together.